It was yet another full house in Dortmund. 80,000 fans packed into the Signal Iduna Arena to see whether Dortmund could get back on the victory trail again. 7 wins in a row was a club record, but they were hammered 3-0 by Wolfsburg in midweek. Could they get back on winning terms against a Bielefeld side that has not won in 8? And the early pressure was all from the visitors. Dortmund fortunate not to concede in that situation. Katongo should have ended that one with the ball in the net. Mistake was by Kale. 12 minutes gone. Valdez got hold of it, just a little lacking in direction. He's had his best season ever, has Nelson Valdez. Fronsack, the Bielefeld coach, very worried. His side 16th in the table, relegation playoff spot, beaten at home by Hoffenheim in midweek, but playing with confidence in the early stages, at least in Dortmund. Great header and a brilliant save. That's Oliver Kirsch. Fine save by Weidenfeller, having to go down at the foot of the post. 3 minutes from half-time. Another great opportunity, and really Robert Tescher slipping there when he should have put the ball in the net. His manager can't believe it. Once again in slow motion. That Dortmund defense with some holes in it in the first half, and Tescher should have made Dortmund pay dearly. Dortmund, by the way, unbeaten at home. The only unbeaten side, along with the league leaders Wolfsburg. And then, almost against the run of play, the home side on 43 minutes taking the lead, and Dennis Eilhoff, who's kept goals so well for Bielefeld this season, comes off his line and he does not get hold of it. The free kick by Alex Frey. Sebastian Kehl, the Dortmund skipper, takes a clout on the head that leaves him a bit dazed. At halftime, 1-0 and long faces amongst the board members of Bielefeld. Into the second half. And Dortmund have been given a good talking to by their coach at half-time, Jürgen Klopp, and in a totally different frame of mind. Thomas Heinl, just 7.5 minutes into the second half. Look at Jürgen Klopp. He absolutely gives everything, that man. His enthusiasm is boundless. And he is the reason why Dortmund have had such a fantastic season. They can still make a UEFA Cup spot. And they need, of course, Hamburg to drop points if they are to do that. The Bielefeld fans looking pretty glum. 69 minutes gone. Cuba into the middle, and Valdez grabs goal number 7 of the season. Since Jürgen Klopp came to Dortmund, Valdez has blossomed. Absolutely no question of offside. Hetzig unable to keep pace with Valdez. And the Paraguayan netting with ease. 3-0 for Dortmund. Bielefeld now really struggling. The home side with their tails up. The ball kept in play by Zidane. Pulls it back, and the skipper grabs his 4th goal of the season. Jürgen Klopp thinks it's Christmas. 4-0, 72 minutes gone. And Dortmund now absolutely thrilling the crowd. Heinl steps over it, Kehl waxing in the back of the net. No chance at all for Eilhoff, and there was worse to come for Bielefeld. Crippled by injuries, Laola, that was the mood in the stadium in Dortmund. Dede clips it over, and of all people to head home, it's Tinger, one of the smallest players on the park. Dives in there, his 1st goal of the season. He thanks the Almighty. 5 goals to 0. And still 7 minutes left to play. Dede has missed so much of the season through injury. Been with Dortmund for 10 years. Tinga leaps in. And there was even worse to come. Fry. Tinga. Zidane, lovely, quick feet, engineers an opening for himself and finishes himself. Goal number 7. Tinga, and just look at the silky skills of Zidane. An absolute debacle for Bielefeld. A great first half, a disaster in the second. Dortmund back on track for that UEFA Cup spot. They can still do it. Eilhoff, nothing he can really have done to stem the disaster. And that says, thanks to the best fans in the league. Dortmund 6, Bielefeld 0.
Well, all eyes were on Hamburg. They're playing Cologne. Cologne are 12th in the table, got 35 points and nothing left to worry about this season. They will be playing first-class football next time. Ulic will be as well, but not at Hamburg in front of the home fans. He's off to Bayern Munich. But the big question, thank you, Ulic, but the big question, would Hamburg turn it on? Because it's a UEFA spot that they're looking for. They're in the white with the red shorts, their nickname, but it's Cologne on the attack after 4 minutes. The first shot from Petit just going over. Hamburg won 3-1 against Bochum at home last time out. Martin Jol and Christoph Daum, the two coaches, obviously for these two clubs, but really different purposes for them in this game. For Cologne, just get out there and have a few shots on goal, which is exactly what Ehret did on 9 minutes, breaking the deadlock and causing quite an upset. A little bit of mixing going on there. The long ball from Thomas Kessler, the reserve keeper. Ishiaku doesn't get hold of it, but Ehret gets in front of Benjamin and puts it past an outstretched Frank Rost. So the visitors 1-0 up. 17 minutes gone. Aogo with the corner as far as Guy Demel. Now where's that man, Ulic? There he is, getting in the way of Guerrero. If he'd have left that, Guerrero might have had a better opportunity. He didn't look too pleased either. Martin Jol starting to look just a little bit worried about that UEFA spot. Free kick on 18 minutes from Petit. Not really troubling Frank Rost, but Frank Rost troubling his defence. Cologne haven't won against Hamburg since 2001. In fact, Hamburg have won the last 6 meetings between these two clubs. But again, just before the break, it's Cologne on the attack. The ball put into the Cicevic, who heads into the ground with his nose. So at half-time, not a lot to be happy about if you're a Hamburg fan, especially when you heard at half-time how other clubs are doing. Just past the hour mark, Ulic. And then the ball coming in, and Petroipa with a very acrobatic overhead bicycle kick, keeping the ball in play. Bit of a dour affair, really, between these two. One of the highlights was this rather spectacular overhead kick. Martin Jol directing traffic, or waving to somebody on the other side of the HSH Nordbank Arena. Make up your own mind which it was. Corner from Trukowski, who'd come on for the second half. Kessler punches away. Hamburg not really showing the kind of form that they would need if they can indeed secure a place in the new Europa League, the new name for the UEFA Cup. Another free kick, and again it's Trukowski. The header out from Jeramel, who's had a great season for Cologne. Aogo, who looks a promising talent, to Trukowski once more. And Benjamin with a lovely opportunity that he decided not to take. Hamburg definitely better with the addition of Trukowski. 2 minutes before the end of the game. Adel Chihi. And Eric with a chance to add to his tally. Decided not to take that one. 3 for the season was pretty much as he was going to get with the clock running down. Tchaikovsky trying a long-range shot to test Thomas Kessler. Always veering away from the goal, though. Last chance for Hamburg to save something from this season. They were in 3 competitions just 20 days ago or so. Last chance not good enough. They're out of the UEFA Cup. They're out of the German FA Cup. And now it looks like they might not even get a chance to play European competition football next season. It's bye-bye to Ulic. And it's bye-bye to 3 very important points. There'll be a lot to discuss before their final game of the season. Hamburg 0, Cologne 1.
So another clash, top against the bottom. That shield is the one you can win at the end of the campaign. There's just 2 games to go. The Mercedes-Benz Arena here today with Kakao and the boys from Stuttgart in white. And in the last few games, it's been 9 games now where they've won 7, drawn 1 and lost 1. And the visitors in black were Energie Cottbus, fighting against relegation in this current campaign at the moment. Second from the bottom with just 27 points. 12 minutes played, and it was Kakao, the man who will be quite possibly featuring for Jogi Löw, the German international team, on the trip to Asia next month. The free kick on 19 minutes from Thomas Hitzelsberger was knocked in all the way, giving the goalkeeper Trebel not a chance in the world. Larnik thought that he might have got a touch. That wasn't the case. 5th goal of the season for the German international Thomas Hitzelsberger. The only chance in the game so far we saw in 8 minutes came from Euler. Here the home team, the supporters hoping that their 4th position could be maybe a top position at the end of the season, something they did in 2007 when they won the championship coming from behind. On 38 minutes, again, the home team in the centre. It was Gebhardt with the opportunity. Tresch doing all the hard work down the right wing. But that ball would not land in the back of the net for the second goal of the first half. 1 minute into stoppage time. Free kick again. Hitzelsberger. Not all that far away. Gerhard Tremmel, the goalkeeper between the posts for Cottbus, having a hard day of it today. At half-time, the question was how to score more goals. Maybe that was a book on just how to do that. Coming into the second half, just a few minutes played, 49 minutes. Again, Gebhardt involved here down the left wing. Shot blocked by Angelov. It came back to Hitzelsberger. That one going wide. Last week, Energie Cottbus lost against Borussia Mönchengladbach, one of the teams fighting against relegation, by 1-0. The last win was against Wolfsburg, funnily enough, back on match day 29. And they were under pressure on 51 minutes. Magnan, Tremmel and Hilbert over the top of the crossbar. 2 minutes later, Cottbus trying to come back into this game with Angelov. And then the ball finally came back to Timo Rost. Long range, worth a try. Goalkeeper Jens Lehmann having a fine season so far since arriving from Arsenal at the beginning of this campaign. 59 minutes coming up to the hour mark, and it was now all Stuttgart. Kakao. And then on came the hero, Mario Gomez. He missed last time out that 2-1 victory against Schalke. It was Marika, the man that came off, who scored in that game. 77 minutes, Cottbus. Hitzelsberger was the man that was dispossessed, and this was the Chinese international Xiao. Highly unlucky. The ball coming off the crossbar. Well, Mr. Lehmann not exactly happy with his defence at that stage of the game. Shell almost collecting a goal back into this game, but then the counter-attack started by Lehmann. Larnik, Gomez, Kakao, and there it was, 2-0. The Brazilian has received his German passport at the beginning of this year and has been included in the squad for Jogi Löw and Germany's trip to Asia. And that was his 7th goal of the season. Stamped his authority on this game today. It has been playing some tremendous football. And that was the proof of the pudding. Markus Babbel can be a happy man indeed. Stuttgart keep their title dreams alive on 78 minutes, 2-0. And then with 3 minutes to go, Kakao will be involved again. That was Jan Simak. Kakao in goal, it's Gerhard Tremmel, and without him that would have been 3-0. And then 90th minute, the last chance of the game. Gomez with a header, the ball coming over the top. But everybody was celebrating here today. Stuttgart keeping their dream alive of the next title, beating Energie Cottbus and giving them a headache by 2-0.
There was a capacity crowd of just under 75,000 in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin for the visit of Schalke. For the visitors, 8th in the table, nothing to play for, basically, apart from prestige. But Hertha, yes, we can. Do what? Take the German title for the first time since the Bundesliga was founded way back in the 60s. Berlin in the blue and white. The flag goes up, but was that the correct decision taken by assistant Matthias Anklam? In slow motion, we get to take another look at it when the ball's played now. Oh, that was tight indeed. Hertha, 3rd in the table, just 1 point behind the leading duo Wolfsburg and Bayern Munich. Lucien Favre, the Berlin coach, not happy with that decision. He did have a case. 24 minutes gone. Great shot coming in and a fine save from Neuer. Pantelic in probably his final game in front of the Berlin crowd. He's been here for 4 years, but he and Lucien Favre don't see eye to eye. It looks like Pantelic is going to be on his way. 27 minutes gone. Once again, Pantelic is away, bears down on Neuer, and still can't put the ball away. Yellow card for Cicero for taking a dive, says referee Gargaman. This time the flag stays down. Great defensive running by Westermann. Pantelic can slip the ball across to Raphael, who was backing up. And then, of course, that little bit of silliness from Cicero. Hertha Berlin enjoying the best season in the club's history. The flag stays down because Bergen was onside, and what a disastrous first touch. He knows it by the Swiss international. My Buskens, the interim coach for Schalke, not impressed. Berlin had to win this one to keep their title hopes alive. 42 minutes gone. Pantelic again, great work by the striker, and he just pushes it a little too far behind. Paul Dardai, the Hungarian international, can't quite latch onto it and pulls his shot wide. Once again in slow motion. Doesn't look any better, does it? Great work by Pantelic as Jones slides in, and there you see Dardai has to check and stop, and then scuffs his shot. No score at half-time, and that little kid asleep. I think there wasn't that too much to stay awake for in the first half. Was the second half going to be any better? Corner for Berlin. A free header for Gojko Kacar. that should have been sunk. The Schalke defence, rock solid, normally the best defence in the league, but Kacha allowed a free header. Still no score. Van Bergen. And Pantelic comes through again, this time. Unluckily for him, the ball pops up against his kneecap and goes away for a goal kick. That on 62 minutes. Six minutes later. The huge crowd getting behind their favourites as Raphael fires one in. A long-range shot, but not enough power behind it, or indeed direction, to trouble Neuer. Schalke content somehow to play in third gear. They defended well, but not a lot going forward. Then Jones firing one in, well stopped by Drobny. He'd had nothing to do until then. Screams at his defence for allowing the shot to come in. And he was wrong-footed, wasn't he? If that had been a foot either side, it would have been in the net. 80 minutes from time. The seconds ticking away. Excellent defensive work initially by Altintop, but then he loses it. The ball clips over. Pantelic can't quite climb high enough to change the direction of the ball very quickly. Lucien Favre, his nerves getting the better of him. Then into the dying seconds. Kevin Kurani fires one in. Good save by Drobny. In slow motion once again, Kurani had a quiet afternoon. And that really was the last of the action. Despair, despondency. Whatever happens next week, Hertha cannot be German champions, but they can secure a Champions League place. It ends Berlin 0, Schalke 0.
Bayern, the visitors, in Hoffenheim at the Rhein-Neckar Arena, and of course it's a sellout. Over 30,000 here for this game here today. Bayern Munich, who were joint level with Wolfsburg, looking for their 22nd title, the record German champions. The team that came out of Division 2 last season, Hoffenheim, had a fantastic start to the season, but had been slipping up recently, going 12 games without a winning streak. But the last couple of games have been wins for Hoffenheim, and that spelled danger for Bayern Munich. The man that always spells danger is Demba Ba. Here on 6 minutes, he finds Carlos Eduardo. Jörg Butz, the goalkeeper, looking very sharp indeed, which he had to be for this man, the new caretaker coach at the moment, Jupp Heynckes, the man that took over the job from the sacked Jürgen Klinsmann. So far, 3 games, 3 wins. What would happen on game number 4 for Jupp Heynckes? His team in red coming forward with the pass from Podolski, Philipp Lahm in the centre, and back to Luca Toni. Now the World Cup winner of 2006 had a wonderful opportunity. Poked the attempt way over the top of the bar. 1 minute later, Bayern again. Lucio as right back here today. The ball floats over, the mistake by Ibertsberger. And Sousa, the Argentine, almost capitalising on that mistake by Hoffenheim's defence. Here's the head coach, Ralf Rangnick. His team lost narrowly 2-1 against Bayern last time out in Bavaria, and they were trailing now by 1-0 thanks to Ribéry. Jupp Heynckes enjoying himself, still at the age of 64. Good work from Lucas Podolski. And Franck Ribéry knocks in his 9th goal of the season on 16 minutes. Now, it's been a long time since Bayern lost a game after taking the lead. The last time was on April 2007. Then Hoffenheim were playing in the regional league in the 3rd division. But they were certainly top class here today on 21 minutes. After the lovely delivery from Eduardo, Ba was the man of the moment. 1-1, game on. Eduardo's delivery taken well with the left boot and finished off perfectly with the right. Deflection coming off the calf of Lucio. It probably would have gone in anyway. Here the control. Demba Ba, the man from Senegal, knocking in goal number 13. Would it be a lucky goal? 5 minutes later, Bayern, Tony, then it was Ribéry, in room Lucas Podolski, Timo Hildebrand, who had one of these best games since returning to the Bundesliga against Schalke last time out, getting in the way. Another minute later, corner for Schweinsteiger. Lucio's perfect header, and that surely should have been the next goal for Martin Demichelis. Bayern did everything right. The header from Lucio was perfection in itself. And the Argentine knocking it over. You can see the look on the face of Uli Hoeneß, not really believing now. 28 minutes, and Hoffenheim find Demba Ba. He gets past Demichelis. Wellington with a header, crossbar, and then it came back to Eduardo, and in for the 2-1. Carlos Eduardo, the Brazilian under-20 international, on his 24th appearance, gave that man, Mr. Hopp, the big boss from Hoffenheim, a chance to go and grab another beer. Great header from Wellington. And Bayern's defence at 6s and 7s. The last goal was scored on day 24 for Carlos Eduardo. That was one of his most important goals for Hoffenheim. So they were leading them by 2-1. 39 minutes played, and it was Hoffenheim again. With Ba, what a turn. Claims for a penalty. It was Jörg Butz, the goalkeeper, who came in with a last-ditch effort. He had Demba Ba beating Demichelis. Lovely flick. And then here the sliding tackle from Jörg Butz. Got the ball, but a lot of the man. And then with 1 minute before the half-time whistle, again, Ribéry. In the centre is Luca Toni. That's the goal. Luca Toni locking in his 14th goal of the campaign. They were too far away from him. For the first time, Marvin Komper let him go. And once Toni gets that kind of room, he makes no mistakes whatsoever. So Bayern back in business just before the half-time whistle, 2-2 and game on. Now that is Jogi Löw together with Hansi Flick. Jogi Löw, the big boss from the Germans, and his assistant. And Hansi Flick, by the way, used to be the ex-Hoffenheim coach. A lot of internationals from Germany to be seen here. That is one of them. Lucas Podolski on 48 minutes. The man who will be going back to Cologne at the end of the season. 53 minutes played, and again, Obazi and Demba Ba. 3 minutes later, Bayern with Luca Toni. Souza in some room. The space can't be used to claim the next goal. On 61 minutes, Bayern looking a little more secure and searching for that all-elusive goal. Luca Toni. But excellent goalkeeper yet again by Timo Hildebrand, keeping him at bay. 83 minutes. Cross from Lahm. On the far side, Luca Toni, and quite a few of the supporters here thought that one had gone in. Crossbar side netting. Heinkes, knowing with all the experience he's had that with just 5 minutes remaining, they needed some luck. And this was just literally 1 minute into stoppage time and 1 second before the final whistle. After the cross, Luca Toni had the golden opportunity to make it 3-2 and didn't take it. Bayern lose 2 points in this battle. Hoffenheim 2, Bayern 2.
The best attack came to visit the worst defence in the league. Wolfsburg, top of the table, only on goal difference, in white with the two top scorers in the league. 46 goals between them, Edin Dzeko and Grafich. Hanover on a bit of a good run at the moment, taken 10 from a possible 12 points in their last 4 games, but they were up against the free-scoring Wolfsburg. 6 minutes gone, and a chance for Wolfsburg already. Misimovic straight into the arms of German international Robert Enke, getting applause from his coach, Felix Magath. 10 minutes gone, chance up the other end. Chineveg onto the post after the mistake from Schinzelorts, and Sasha Rita getting it away. Just a minute later up the other end, Wolfsburg starting to show their teeth, and Grafich somehow managing to be put off by Egiman. Good work from Dzeko, looking for his striking partner. A brave challenge from Egiman. 14 minutes gone, and Hasebe, Japanese international, picks out Dzeko, and look at that for a strike into the top corner. That is world class from Edin Dzeko, scoring the 23rd of his campaign, drilling it past Enke. Balic and Egiman can just watch, but a very nice ball in. Chests it past the defender and converts. Free kick from Schaefer, being held by Enke. Marcel Schaefer striking it hard, but a good save from the German international. Just a couple of minutes later, Brugink with the chance that Bernalio foiled on the half-hour mark. Wolfsburg coming forward again. They always knew it would be about goal difference, unaware of what was going on elsewhere in the league, but knowing that only 2 goals ahead of Bayern Munich is dangerous stuff. Chance this time for Gentner. Felix Magath not looking too worried at all. Wolfsburg running the show. 3 minutes after the half-hour mark. Ball into the centre, laid off beautifully by Dzeko, and Grafich powering his way through to score the 2nd goal of the game for Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg assuming, of course, that Bayern Munich would deliver the goods against Hoffenheim. So not pausing for thought, just getting on with building up that goal difference. And 3 minutes later, similar scene, Gentner. And Grafich converting, and that was 3. Bringing his tally for the season up to 24, 25, 26 now. Putting a gap between him and Edin Dzeko. Wolfsburg with their hands very firmly, at least one of them, on the trophy. As the goal difference started to get wider and wider. Good shot from Michael Forsell, foiled by Bernalio. So at half-time, time to bask in the glory. Ex-Chancellor Gerhard Schröder, a well-known Hanover fan, watching his team get taken apart by a vicious wolf pack. Not unlike the daily sessions in the Bundestag sometimes. Things got worse for Hanover on 54 minutes. Misimovic providing Dzeko with goal number 4 and his 2nd of the game, catching up on his mate Grafich's tally for the season. He was then up to 24. And that goal difference just getting bigger and bigger. Another chance for Hanover, whose season really doesn't really matter what they do in this game. No threat of relegation for them. Steiner with a cross-come shot, hitting the top of the angle. Wavered out of the way, slightly disturbing Benaglio. In the end, he lets it go. 79 minutes gone. Wolfsburg taking it very easy. Hasebe again picking out Dzeko. He'd done it once before. He knew where he was. It was 5-0. Hanover being torn apart. Hat-trick for Edin Dzeko. 25 his tally now for the season. Just one goal behind Grafich. Wolfsburg beginning to realise that all they need to do in their last game of the season, at home to Bremen, is win, and it would be theirs. So Graffiti not getting the time to write his name on the wall. Grafich. On comes Simonek for him. He'll have to wait to build up that score for the season till the next game against Bremen. 90 minutes gone. Late chance for Okubo. Wanted a corner at the very least. Didn't get it. Long ball. Suddenly breaking to him. Got in front of the defender. Put it wide of the goal. Final whistle. 5-0. Hanover lose their last home game of the season. But that means Wolfsburg went on knowing that they've got a very good goal difference now. And only Bremen could possibly stop them from winning the title. How many more goals will Dzeko and Grafich score against Bremen? The fans in Wolfsburg really beginning to believe now that this is their season. All 3 points for Wolfsburg.